Welcome to Flip the Script with Vic, a sacred space for honest, unfiltered, and sometimes taboo conversations between women walking the path of truth, healing, and soul remembrance. What started as my personal exploration has become a communal prayer, a podcast devoted to amplifying women's stories in their own words. I'm your host, Victoria Nielsen, intuitive healer, mama, and space holder for the divine feminine. Here, we gather as cycle breakers, mothers, mystics, creatives, witches, and wild ones, flipping the script on what it really means to be a woman in today's world. Through raw interviews, intimate solo casts, and brave conversations, we'll chat about motherhood, mysticism, psychedelics, spirituality, and more. You'll be reminded that your voice matters, that your truth matters, that you're here to walk in beauty. So be the prayer, and let's flip the script. Are you ready? Let's jump on in. Hello, loves, and welcome back to Flip the Script with Vic. It's your host, Victoria Nielsen. It is time for one of my favorite times of the month, our monthly energy report. And before I've even turned on this mic or even sat down, I have tapped into the energy of the Akashic Records. The records tell you what you need to know in the moment, the guidance, the energy, the frequency, all of it. And so I have opened the records of anyone listening to this podcast that is open to the flow from the universe, that is open to the guidance that God is here to provide us, and really is just open with an open heart today. I feel a lot of energy coming through, and I felt even more energy as I was opening the records. So whether that means there's even more of you coming to listen to this podcast, or there's just more of you turning on and turning into the frequency of higher consciousness, I think that's really what it is. And so this entire message is just channeled from the ethers, from God, source, universe, the Akashic Records, like whatever you want to call it. I am channeling it for you guys right now. Please take what resonates with you and leave the rest, because I am human, right? And I am using my own lens, my own perspective as I'm sharing this guidance. And of course, I try my best not to be biased and to share exactly what's coming through. But no matter what any medium or psychic or channel or guide will tell you, there's always going to be a little bit of their perspective in the way that they're telling it to you, right? Because that's just their lens. That's how they see the world. So with all of that being said, let's get into the energy of July. First of all, I'm recording this on the first day or the last day of the month of June, still in kind of the Capricorn full moon portal. I am feeling very tired. My body is feeling very tired. And I'm just feeling an overall collective tiredness. Tiredness of all the bullshit, tiredness of all the drama, and also just like plain old tired from capitalism and the grind and the hustle culture of America and this like go, go, go that we have been in, gosh, since the turn of the Industrial Revolution. It feels like we've been running away from ourselves. We've been running away from ourselves and running as far away as we can from the truth. And this is the month of the reckoning. This is the month where you can no longer hide from yourself and from your reality and from what's happening around you, from the pressure, stress, tension, friction that you may be experiencing, because everyone is going through an upgrade this month. The earth itself, even the most low vibrational people are going to be going through their version of an upgrade this month, right? And that's why I say the reckoning, because I feel like people that have been living in the 3D, living in some of those low vibration emotions, like this is going to feel fucking terrible, because you're going to realize that you can no longer keep going the way that you've been going, that something has got to give this month, because if not, you're going to break. And it also really feels like the earth, like this is a turning point for the earth this month, that like she is crying out to us. And, you know, I confirmed this too via my astrologer, Michelle Saya, who I love, has really been communing with the earth over in Thailand. She just moved, and you should go follow her and listen to some of her stuff. But she talks about how the earth right now feels like it's in like this defensive position with like hooks in its back, and it's kind of baring its teeth, and it's angry. And I feel that too in this energy. And I feel like the earth is fighting back this month. Like there is going to be more earthquakes. There's going to be more natural disasters. There's going to be, hurricanes probably most likely already forming in the Atlantic. And I'm from Florida, so I grew up with hurricanes, and I have seen over the years how hurricane season is starting sooner and sooner and sooner because the ocean is too warm. Like, it's way too warm, and it's causing this like cosmic fucking cocktail. That yeah, this is probably not going to be a great hurricane season. Just going to say that now. And really, this month, I feel like I'm kind of all doom and gloom, but this is like the hard shake in the pants that some people really need. But the positive, like I said, is that more people are going to be waking up. And for some, that wake up may be very tumultuous, may come from pain or something tragic happening. But for others, it could just be a quiet discomfort in their bodies, like an itchiness and a buzz under the skin, like you've outgrown where you are, but you aren't really sure where you're going next. That kind of like your life is a little too tight, perhaps, or I may even use the word suffocated. Maybe you feel a little suffocated this month in your own life. And I say that to warn you only so that when you start to feel that feeling or you start to notice that chafing, that rub, that you're not immediately like, oh my God, I've got to blow everything up. Because for some of you, you don't actually have to blow everything up. You just have to make some small tweaks, some small adjustments. And for people like that, I am here to help you. I love helping people one-on-one in threshold sessions where we honor the woman that you were and the woman that you're becoming. And like we sit in that in-between space together. July is a beautiful time to let yourself sit in the in-between if you can. Right. And it's going to be really hard to, it might feel like you can only sit in that in between for 2 seconds and then you've got to do something about it, or you've got to go back to the way things were. I kind of feel this little like jumping in and out is kind of the energy. Like some people this month are going to have like one foot in and be like, yeah, I've got to make these changes. And then they're going to get scared and they're going to backpedal. Right. And that's natural. Healing is not linear. Life is not linear. Like that cha-cha of the 2 steps forward, step back is actually very natural. But a lot of us don't know how to deal with it because we have been taught that success is linear, that each thing must compound onto the next. And it does naturally, but nature also works in spirals. And really that is far more natural, that circular motion of becoming, than this like linear model that we've been taught. So you may feel a little itchy in your life and in your skin this month. That's a good sign. Okay. It's a good sign. It shows me that you are ready for growth, that you are ready for more, that you're ready for something new. And many of you are. And this is the month that you're going to be catapulted into that new, whether it's kicking and screaming or because you have decided like you're tired of your own shit. And I don't know about you, but like I would rather be the one to choose that I'm tired of my own shit than have the universe tell me. Because the times that those have happened, like it's been big upheavals in a very painful way, right? It was my miscarriages. It was my moving across the country, not knowing a single soul because I was going to go down a dark path afterwards, right? It's those kinds of like pivotal dark night of the soul moments are going to be happening this month. And we have a choice, right? We could be scared. Like all of this energy sounds very doom and gloom and like, oh, fuck. But you incarnated here on earth at this time for a reason. I truly believe that. I believe that every single soul that's here in Earth School right now signed up and said, yes, like I am here for this, no matter how hard it is. And I read something actually in Elizabeth Gilbert's new book, All the Way to the River. And she was talking about how we, like as souls, right? We make these soul contracts before we come here, and someone had to agree to be your villain, perhaps, right? Someone had to agree to be the victim, maybe not in so many words, but there was a part of your soul that needed that experience. And no, maybe you didn't sign up for it to happen that exact way. We don't, right? We just say, I want to experience this feeling because I can only experience it here on Earth, in Earth School. But you have to realize that before you ever came here, you had enough love for perhaps another person or a whole group of people that you said, yes, I will make this soul contract with you. I will be this person for you. Even if it's not, your best friend in the entire world, even if it's actually to be a villain to you in this lifetime. And I'm sharing this just because July also seems like a month that could be really heart opening if we let ourselves go there. If we let ourselves like have that reckoning and let the walls around our heart crumble. And we can start to see actually that like everybody belongs, right? And nobody is a villain. And this feels like very far from the energy that we are in right now, but I can feel glimmers of it because it's there underneath, right? That sense of belonging, that we are all God's children. We are all perfect. We are all made perfect, right? Even if you have addiction, even if you have bad habits, even if you've cheated on your spouse, even if you're a bad mom, like we all deserve mercy, right? And hopefully redemption. And so I share just that energy is also in the field, right? Because that's what I'm tapping into right now, is just what energy is in the energetic field of Earth, of humanity, of our collective consciousness. And you can tap into this as well by connecting into yourself. And I teach women how to access their Akashic records all the time, because you are a living embodiment of your Akashic record. And the beautiful thing about any of this is that we have choice and we have free will. So yes, I'm sharing this as like guidance for the month of July. And yes, I'm sharing what could happen, the potential timelines and possibilities that are available in the ethers. But guess what? You have free fucking will, people. So you change those timelines every single time you make a new choice or a new decision, whether it's good or bad. And what the hell is good or bad anyway, right? Like, we love our labels here on Earth, but this duality and these labels don't belong anywhere else but here. Our mind makes us have to label something to understand it, but sometimes I think we limit ourselves because then people have preconceived notions about what these words mean, and then you don't even understand like what the feeling or the underneath meaning truly was. So this month is a reckoning. But it can also be a really beautiful month of bringing people back together. And it's going to show us our strength in communities when some of these natural disasters happen, when some of these marginalized people in society are continued to be picked on. And it feels like the world is even more disparate. Like, lean into the love, lean into the undercurrent that is available to us. And connect with the earth, like ground your energy. Any rage, any sorrow, any anger that you're feeling, the earth can help you transmute it. If you're working with her, right, to also bring her your light. It's a symbiotic relationship. Okay, so we can transmute some of this energy on earth with the earth by working consciously with her, by sharing our light force energy with her, and also our darkness, right? And being a circuit of energy together. Because the earth was never meant to bloom alone. The earth has always needed life, has always needed this symbiosis, not of necessarily humans per se, but of like of living organisms and of life. And it's always been this like symbiotic relationship, and we've gotten away from that like big time. But we're not too far gone. Like, there is hope. And if you're listening to this podcast, like, I believe you were part of that hope. I believe you were part of that change. I believe, again, that you incarnated here right now for a reason, to be a light warrior, perhaps, to turn on a different part of your energy and of yourself, so that you can see that you're a multidimensional being, that you can see that actually the beautiful part of humanity is the connection with humanity itself, that human connection, person to person, organism to organism, is what we're here for. And as the rise of AI continues and like we get further apart, like it becomes even more important to have that in-person connection. And I know people are craving it because I have started hosting events here in Atlanta. My Zodiac Mixer is like one of my favorite things I have started to do each month, celebrating the Zodiac season. But it's also just about bringing people together in community. And you can do that in your own community too. You know what? If you're feeling like the world is out of control this month, like you're having a reckoning, like get your girlfriends together, get a group together, like bring people together. I can't tell you how much it will fill your own cup to actually give back. Even if you feel like you're in crisis, even if you feel like you have nothing else to give people right now, like giving in whatever way you can is going to bring it back to you. It's the law of reciprocity, right? Like you get back what you put in. And so this month, also feels like that like you're going to get back what you put in, that by the end of July, you can be at an entirely different frequency, an entirely different person, truly, if you start paying attention, right, to what your body's telling you, to the energy around you. And that kind of brings me back to like the tired point that I was making at the beginning. Like, our bodies want us to slow down and we need to listen. And there is so much light flooding the planet right now. Like, we are still in the Letha portal from the solstice. And that's beautiful. But a lot of light can burn people out depending on your own energy and your own energetic capacity. Okay. So working on your energetic capacity this month is also like key, because as the light continues to flood the planet, like, you're not going to be able to hold it. And it's going to burn you out. And so what do you need to do? You need the opposite practices. So instead of running and being go, 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 like, it's actually slowing down. It's being where your feet are. It's grounding your energy. It's being connected to the earth. And I'm burping. So this to me is confirmation when I'm burping that what I'm saying is being confirmed, right, by my guides, angels, ancestors, whomever. But that grounding is important, that actually, like, in July, more yin practices, so more feminine practices. You know, I know people love their HIIT workouts. You love your CrossFit. You love that kind of, masculine stuff. But maybe try some yoga this month, babe. You know, maybe try a little low impact Pilates. Like, maybe just go for a walk with your girlfriends. Like, maybe go to the pool this summer. Like, maybe swim in the pool and let that be your workout. Like, how can you bring more cooling sensations to yourself and your body in July? Because that's going to keep you a bit more even keeled when things get off kilter, when the earth starts to bubble up and get angry. You know, when the US just continues to do what it's doing, that cooling yin energy is what needs to be called in this month. And again, if you're listening, I have so many resources for you. I have people to point you to. I would love to hold you in a threshold session. If any of this is like deeply resonating with you and you're like, yes, Victoria, I can feel it, but I need support. Support is important, and it's going to become even more important in the coming months. Like, the people that have support, and I don't even mean like one-on-one or mentorship support, but like support within your community, support within your family, support within your life, are going to be the ones that are set up for success. And you know what, this month, like, reach out to the people in your life that maybe don't have that support or are loners, or, you know, maybe you have a friend that like doesn't have family close by. Like, how can you become family for one another this month, right? Like, we're still in Cancer season through half of July, right? Like, we're not into Leo yet. And Cancer is all about nurturing. It's all about the home. Is all about really that inner world. Like, how can you nurture yourself and slow down? Because the natural energy of Leo season and the energy of like the Lionsgate portal as we get closer into August, like, that's going to speed things up again. Okay. So like, intentionally slowing down, intentionally cooling your energy in July is going to set you up for success later on. Because if you already have burnt up by July, by the time August comes, like, girlfriend, you're going to be a French fried potato, and it's not going to feel good, and it's going to be awful. And if you're a mom like me who has been like home with her kids for the summer, oh my God, when the kids go back to school in August or September, I guess, if you're, you know, further up north, you're going to need like a whole month to recover. And that should not be the case. Okay. You should not need a whole month to like recover from your life, or recover from your life with kids while they're not in school. Okay. Like, your life should feel sustainable and expansive and beautiful. And if it's not in July, like, take note of the areas of your life, like I mentioned before, that are feeling that pressure, tension, stress, and friction. Take note, because that friction is there because something wants to change. Something is no longer in alignment. And you know what? Just because you prayed for the life that you currently have now, it doesn't make you ungrateful. It doesn't make you it doesn't make it a bad thing that you want something new or more now. Okay. Like, you're allowed to expand your dreams. You're allowed to want more. And I know that feeling can feel uncomfortable because you're like, Victoria, I begged for this. Like, I really wanted this life, and now I'm not even appreciating it. Like, Okay. It's because you've grown. Okay. And maybe you need a ceremony with me to help you look back, appreciate, honor where you were so that you feel comfortable moving to where you want to go. Change is the only constant in this life. If you are not changing, if you are not growing, if you are not coming up with a new goal, looking towards a new thing, then what the fuck are you doing on earth? Okay? Like, that's why you came to earth school, was to grow and expand and change and experience. You can experience any of this stuff when you're a ball of gas in the sky, okay? Like, you can only do it in a human body. So take advantage of the time that you have here on earth, okay? There's a lot of fear in the world right now. And I get it, but you have support if you want it. And you don't have to live fearfully, okay? You can live courageously. And I hope that's what each woman that I ever have on this podcast shows you, is that you are courageous and that you can be courageous, and that is an important part of why you're here. So I'll get off my courageous July soapbox. I definitely, that's the energy at the end of July. It feels more courageous as we're getting into Leo season. Let me see if there's anything else that wants to come through, guys. I have a smile on my face, and the energy of the cosmos is smiling, and it's all possible. And you can feel good, and you deserve to feel good in your everyday life. And if you don't, you should start asking yourself why. And you should start asking yourself how you can fix that. Okay? And I'm here to help if you need me. Check the show notes for how to schedule a one-on-one with me. I also have group programs through Monarch Mystery School, and I have amazing, amazing retreats coming up in September in the south of France and in November in Mexico for women who are ready to make some of these shifts, who are ready to be held, who are ready to realize like they are the oracles of their own lives. So if France is calling you, if you want to go on a Mary Magdalene pilgrimage, that bitch is the queen of death and rebirth. Like, if you feel like you are in the middle of a death and rebirth cycle, you absolutely need to come with us and like experience her energy. We're going to go to the egg cave and the grotto where she spent the last years of her life. If you are ready to turn on your own gifts, if you are ready to like amp up your magic, then the You Are the Oracle retreat in November is for you. Yes, you're going to get Reiki certified and trained. Yes, I'm going to teach you how to open the Akashic Records. Like, all of those practical things are amazing, but what you're going to get out of that more than anything is that you are going to become that woman that can hold the energy, that can get the clients, that can raise your prices, that can quit the corporate job, that can go after the dream, that can hold the energy of your family and your business at the same time, finally, because you have expanded your energetic capacity to do so. Okay? Check out the show notes. Come with us. It's going to be the most amazing time. Also, because I don't think we're doing another retreat in 2027 until like the end of 2027, because your girl's trying to call in a baby. So if you want to come, this is the year to be in the magic and to do it with me. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Be good to one another. All right? I love you so much, and I'll see you next week. Mwah.